Hello and welcome to my channel, Mary Born ND and Gardening with Granny. And you may have started the video with the garden walk, and if you did, welcome again. If you didn't, I will include it after this little chat. So here's to you. Today I have a blossom floating in my cordial. And in a previous video, I showed you how we dehydrated the violas and made elderflower cordial. Lots of fun. Some of the other things we did was we freeze-dried chive blossoms. And I have put these in omelets and sprinkled them in tuna salad. They will work wonderful for potato salad as well. So it's a lovely oniony flavor, and it adds such pretty element, and it's a conversation piece. And some people are really surprised and, like, wow. Some of the other things I like to do now, we freeze dried onion tops, and I'm going to make salt with onion tops and parsley, sea salt, paprika, and garlic powder. And it's a 5-season salt that I use on potatoes, chicken, pork chops, hamburgers. Anytime you want that oniony, garlicky, salty flavor, this works marvelous for that. And I know what's in it. So many seasonings that you buy, you don't really know what's in it. They tell you ingredients, but they don't tell you how much. They don't tell you in what quantity, of course, because it's proprietary. And sometimes they use some anti-caking agents. I like to use desiccant packets. I also like to put my seasoning salt in a container, like for Parmesan cheese, because usually I like more than just what comes out of those little holes. And if you pour it just without any sprinkler thing, you chance getting a big hunk of it and end up with an oops. So my husband and I went to Eastern Market on Saturday. Now, Eastern Market is downtown Detroit. It's about a 45-minute to an hour drive, depending on traffic and construction. So I don't usually get the pleasure of his company because Saturdays he normally plays tennis. But this Saturday he got rained out, and all the way there it was sprinkling. But by the time we got to Eastern Market, it slowed down, and then all of a sudden it stopped, and we had a beautiful day. Cheers. So, oh, by the way, that cordial, I use 2 tablespoons to 8 ounces, or a tablespoon to 4 ounces. And I also put an ice cube in it. And so I have my viola floating in it, just to let you know what I was drinking there, because it's not my usual water. And you can make a drink out of it. alcoholic drink by putting in an ounce of vodka and sparkling water. You can just do the sparkling water. You can add tonic. There's a variety of ways that you can enjoy the cordial. But elderflower itself is very beneficial. If you would like to know all the benefits of it, shoot me an email, mary@bornforhealth.com, or put a contact information in the comment file and I'll send it to you. You can also find it on my website, bornforhealth.com, and look up the alphabet herbal encyclopedia, and in that there's an alphabetical listing. So however you want to find out, I find herbs very fascinating. Even chive blossoms have nutritional benefits uh, and health benefits. So onion tops, so many of the things that we ordinarily will throw away have a benefit, and we're throwing nutrition away. I like to use the comfrey. I stomp on it. Sometimes I'll cut it up and use it as a mulch, and it sends all those nutrients back into the ground and helps your ground, your soil be healthier. Now, there's a controversy about using comfrey internally. I've used it as compresses and a bunch of other things, but basically, I've also dehydrated the very young uh, leaves and blooms. Now, they don't taste good, but what I do is making a tea out of it. You can mix it with lemon and honey and a bunch of other things, but it's high in calcium. And the root is really the thing that can cause toxicity because most people have an overloaded liver. And so if you take something that's going to help your liver dump stuff, it makes you not feel good. And so some people take that as an allergic response, and basically what you're doing is cleaning your liver. But you want to do that slowly. You do not want to do it like I wouldn't take the root. But I don't mind taking the flowers and the young leaves. As a plant goes, the stronger remedy is in the root usually. So echinacea, people make echinacea tea all the time. They may take it from the blossoms, and that's kind of beneficial. But it's the root that most historical testimony has been done on. It's echinacea root. Same thing with marshmallow root. Um, so as you study herbal medicine, you will find that the most potent is in the root. Now, that's a general rule of thumb, but it depends on what you want to achieve. So raspberry, if you want the reproductive support from raspberry, it's the leaves before it blooms, because once it blooms, then all the energy is going to creating the berry, and no longer do the leaves have that benefit. So it's really the timing of things is so important. And in the video, in the tour, you'll see my chive blossoms are gone. They're done. And when I wanted to pick chives themselves and freeze cuts of them to have in dishes, I do it before it blooms because those bloom stalks are just tougher than nails And if you cut that and accidentally chop it into it, it's not a pleasant thing to find in your potato salad. Although I love adding chives, I find the chive blossoms to be much more beneficial. And you can freeze them or dehydrate them if you don't have a freeze dryer like I do. But I have found that freeze drying captures the flavor so much better, and it's much more long lasting. So if you can afford a freeze dryer, this month is the month that they have their biggest sale. So you can go to harvestright.com and look it up and see. It's certainly something that you can save for, and it's another way of preserving food. My objective in growing food is not to eliminate the grocery store. I love that idea, but there's only two of us, and I don't grow that much food. I'm lucky enough to also get Azure standard, and I've done lots of videos on what I get from Azure standard, and I also do a lot of shopping at Costco. As of yet, I haven't done anything with Aldi, but it's on my list to check out. I think the thing that has kept me from going to Aldi is like putting a quarter in the cart thing. It's like, it's because I've never done it, and it's not something I'm accustomed to. So it's something I have to put my mind on. So anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this little chat and garden tour. I will probably show you how to make the seasoning salt. I usually need my husband's help with um, those type of videos. So it may be a little 5-minute, 8-minute video just on making that salt. So enjoy your summer. Um, get out there when it's cool to do your garden work. Stay hydrated. And until next time, this is Mary. Good morning and welcome to my channel, Mary Bourne ND and Gardening with Granny. Today I'd like to take you on a summer tour. That's right, summer has happened in Michigan. So a lot of things have happened, even though it's still June. Since our last tour, we have abundance. So let me turn the camera around and show you what I'm talking about. Saturday, my husband and I went to Eastern Market. Now I'm going to explain a little bit about Eastern Market at the end of the video. But we got these sunflowers, and I couldn't pass them up because it was only $5. And that's part of the Eastern Market charm, is how inexpensively you can get plants. So this is the garden under the window, and you can see that my calla lily are coming in. Now, calla lilies normally do not overwinter in Michigan, and I think it's because of the heat of the house and the bricks, that these do come up every year. And you can see the beginning of my moonflower. That's the one from my granddaughter Sarah, and then mine is over here, and they come up every year. The calla lilies. The caladium that I planted is just starting to pop through, and I have some more under the grapevines that was sort of an extra one. These caladiums, the one that just fell over, I got at Eastern Market for $1 a piece. I couldn't find the bulbs for that. Also put in these impatiens, and yesterday we had temperatures at 99 degrees, and so they'll recover. It just takes some time. Pots are looking really good. The milkweed, yep, butterflies are going to love that. They're in bloom now, just starting up. And here we go over the grapevines and the apple tree. Apple tree is looking really good. We got sunshine coming through it. It is a much happier tree since we invested in getting it pruned. This is the anise hyssop. It's grown quite a bit. It's supposed to have purple flowers on it. Right now I would say it's 3 feet tall, and I didn't expect them to be that tall. This is the expectation. You can see caladiums coming up here, which I'm very happy about, because when they put in the mulch, I was afraid they buried them too deep, but they love this hot weather. And there's the white and pink. Let's check out the grapes. Oh, we do have some lovely little grapes forming. These are Concord, and they make wonderful jelly. Quite pokey, but they're pretty. Even as a dried flower, they look really pretty in arrangement. It's such a different texture. And I don't know if I will even get a bud on this poor clematis. I don't know. Maybe I need to feed it something different than what I am feeding it. Well, we're just gonna swing right over here. Peonies are all done. They were spectacular. Really, really loved them. The primroses are still here. They're just foliage right now. We might come back to that one. I got a tulip tree growing there that I have to remove because it'll get humongous. We got this at Eastern Market, and that was only $10. I love fuchsia plants, but last night it took quite a beating during the day. I watered again last night, and it's starting to recover, but it's not a good idea to put new plants in when you have such extreme temperature. Brunnera is still looking good. Got my geraniums out, and once they get used to this a bit, I'm going to cut them back and let them grow. I bring them inside, before the frost, and then they bloom all winter long. It's just a wonderful thing to have blooms that during the winter time. And the ferns are still looking good, but I'll tell you, when we get 90-degree temperatures, they don't like that very well. And these are something else that don't like the warm weather. viola and pansies, spring blooms. Let's take another look at these coleus. I love the variegation in the color when the sun shines on these. They're almost iridescent. It's my lacy maple duo. Pretty breezy. Hopefully that's not interfering with the audio. We'll come back to that garden. I want to show you how well our new garden is doing. Russian sage is in bloom. I don't know if you can see that. It looks very pretty. Rudbeckia is coming along. Not in bloom yet. Mahogany Splendor hibiscus. Some of them made it. They were attacked by something, and I put cages around them. Oh, this is the one I was most concerned about. And it looks like it's coming along pretty good. These are supposed to be like 3 feet. Not exactly in my garden right now, but they will grow. I started them from seed, so I'm pretty pleased with myself. I'm happy about this garden. So something interesting to note, I've talked about how many years we've been here, and when we poured this slab, it was 86, I think. And that's where our boat stood for 30 years. It took us 10 years to buy a boat, so 96 we finally put the boat on that slab. Hostas are still looking good. They're coming into bloom, but they're not going to tolerate 90-degree weather for much longer. Rockin' deep purple salvia, looking gorgeous. Well, let's check out the hydrangea. I put in some different coleus. This is large leaf, just to give this place a little color. I also found some of these. I'll put it on the screen because I can't, not coming to mind. I have a dahlia in there and a zinnia. We'll see if they come, but I'm most happy about getting blooms on these 3 little quick-fire hydrangeas. They'll look really pretty. These mums come in and they're like an autumn orange. So I hope you'll come back for that tour. So we'll head over here to the herb garden. I am very glad I picked the chive flowers when I did, because they're gone. This is tansy. Tansy is also a very beneficial herb. And you can see my elephant garlic. It'll get
a good 6 feet, then those blooms will open up, and they're like a large chive blossom, only they're white. And then they are slightly garlicky, and they too can be used. Well, I've got some things planted in the barbecue planter, and I'm going to be putting in this purple passion plant. I think that's our Jerusalem art. I'm not sure what it's called, but I'll put it on the screen. Lavender in here, this pot. Got some dahlias that I picked up from the market. Again, those were, let's see, let me say they were 15 for a case. And at my market, it would have been 35. You can see comfrey blooming in the back there. I love comfrey. I use it for a lot of different things. My horseradish has gone bonkers, so I'm going to have to cut that back. This is senna. I've talked about that before. I think I have a video talking about the benefits of senna. You can see some of the dahlias are opening up here. Not sure what that one will be. Their daisies are budding up and almost bursting open. Next to her they will be. The sage plant is in bloom. Some people don't like it when it goes to bloom, but I think it's such a pretty bloom. Buddleia is surviving. We might get some blooms next month. These peonies are sad. That's on my task list for today. There's a hollyhock way in the back, and that one grew last year, so it should bloom this year. Be interesting to see what color that is. This is gorgeous. But not looking really good, but I think it likes this hot weather as well. This is a tropical hibiscus. Dappled willow. Love this bush. Getting a bit tall, and I'm going to have to trim it, but I like to wait until the leaves start browning. Then it doesn't look that great, but I'd hate to cut down something that looks this beautiful. Okay, we're going to check out the veggies. My spaghetti squash. I'm just going to trail. Hopefully I will chop down these weeds here, another tulip tree. So then they'll cover, the spaghetti squash will cover that. Tomatoes. This is a pineapple tomato that I got from the market. I do have tags on these. I need to make bigger tags. But look at this little surprise. First tomato of the year, and normally that doesn't occur until my birthday in July. In fact, if I have a tomato by my birthday, then it's a really good tomato year. It's a purple galvine, no, bean. It's a purple bean. Got another one on this side. It's a little slower growing. I think something ate it in the beginning, and so it's taking its time. It's so fun when you start something from seed, and then it grows to be like that. Here's my potatoes. You saw those in March. They're purple skin and white flesh. Well, that'll be fun. They're blooming, which means that they're producing tubers. Then I've got zucchini and blooms. Right now I don't see any zucchini. This is a sister plant. It's healthy, and that's all I can ask for. More tomatoes. These are the plum type tomatoes, and I don't take off as many leaves in that with these. Do take off the bottom ones because I don't want anything touching the ground. I got celery growing in here, and they like it. Look at these babies. I'm going to put my little tomato down for a minute so I can show you how exciting that is. 3 of them. These are carbon tomatoes that I got from M.I. Gardener. And first time growing those, so. And I got dill, calendula. Not in bloom yet, but it will be. I also have leeks growing in there. I kind of pack things in. A few bean plants. Lots of blooms coming. And this is the majority of my bean plants. I do have some kohlrabi coming in, some peppers. I think those are cauliflower. And more peppers at that end. Some more kohlrabi there, and I have a couple of broccoli. Nice little head there. Same there. So it's been worth it for me to keep these covered. But I took it off just to show you. This tomato, I think that's my big red W that I started from seed that I saved. So that's exciting. I had a tomato grow for a couple of years, didn't know what the name of it was, so I decided to name it because I'm pretty sure after a couple of years it's been cross-pollinated with something. And it's doing really well. I don't know what this one is. Oh, that one might be a cauliflower. I didn't put in any Brussels sprouts. And it doesn't look like a broccoli. I'll have 2 nice heads of broccoli anyway. And this looks like it might be a cauliflower. No, that looks to me like there's something growing in there that might be a broccoli. I've been keeping these protected from the main heat. And cucumbers, they need to be trained. Let it grow up onto the trellis it's supposed to grow up onto. Here's my onions. At the end of the video I'll show you the freeze-dried onions and what I plan to do with those. This is a different type of cucumber. These are lima beans. The lima beans like it hot, and I think they're finally doing something. These beautiful clematis. I love to see them growing along the fence line there. My neighbor has lilies that are coming in. And these hostas, they do okay because they get shaded, but they too brown up after a little bit. Well, that's it for the veggie garden. Let's check out our elderberries. I did dry some of these. I also made a wonderful elderberry cordial. Goji berry never made it. We have quite a bit of pest pressure in this area. We have groundhogs that love to live under my neighbor's shed right there. This is my monster elderberry, which I trimmed a whole lot, keep it trimmed, because I didn't want it to drown out my hibiscus. This is a hardy hibiscus. Lily is taking a beating. This is another hibiscus. Don't remember what color that one was. And then a lily that is finally making it. And here's the beautiful hardy hibiscus my son planted last year. This will be a bright red bloom. We'll head over to the bird garden. A shot of Jessica's tree. The wind is helping us see the underside of the leaves. Such an interesting tree. I love it. There's so much to check out, you know. So the underside of the leaves, that green, and the top, of course, that burgundy. Just so gorgeous. And then when the sun comes through, oh my word, it is truly magnificent. And this is carving my younger son did. I have two adult sons. One's a chiropractor, and the other one is an architect. He teaches classes on what's called SketchUp. And if you are in the architectural field, you know what that program does. But I love the grass around it. It makes it look like the bird is standing in grass. Planted these, and they're doing pretty good. They're taking well. As you can tell, we're near the road. So you can see the plaque. $1995. Wow. 30 years ago? Is that 30? 05, 15, 25. Wow, long time. I have another hardy hibiscus growing here, but it's very shady, and I keep saying I'm going to transplant it. And it's so busy, we forget about it. These lilies are doing pretty good. Unfortunately, there's not much to see on the entrance mound. It's just full of those thistles, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. This is another cherry tree, not our favorite cherry tree, and I don't feel bad about it dying. The birds are still enjoying the few cherries that did come on it. So we'll let them have their feast. They upland this white pine, and I'm hoping that it survives. I didn't realize they were going to take off as much as they did. And it left all this bare, which only encourages weeds. But I don't want to have another garden. The tulip tree, these are monsters. I don't know if you can tell. They must be at least 50 feet tall. In last video I showed you the blooms, and they're pretty much gone. And that old apple tree was here when we moved in. Long time. Well, that about does it. Thank you very much for well, hopefully you enjoyed, but coming along and checking out my gardens this very hot day. Going to be up into the 90s again today. So some of the plants will really enjoy this heat, but certainly not Mary. So stay tuned. I have a little sip and chat following this video, and I'll show you what I made with those onion tops.